we have understood the metaphysics, right? So it is a branch of philosophy and that deals with abstract concepts such as being, knowing, identity, time, and space. And after that, uh, uh, after these questions came in mind of a human, what human did, he tried to understand or to gain that knowledge, what it exactly, what rishi munis and now scientists are doing. They're doing research on that questions, and they are getting some new knowledge, right? So that thing, the term created for that study of knowledge is epistemology. Now, you have understood the research, you have understood the terms that the questions are coming in mind for particular thing. So there are in a research process, two ways are there to acquire knowledge created. One is rationalism, another is empiricism. So rationalism, in a process of rationalism, what researcher or a philosopher do, they do it, scientists do, they do it with a logic and reasons, right? And in a empiricism, sense experience is the ultimate starting point for all our knowledge. Here we use, in empiricism we use senses, and in rationalism we use logic and reason. In a rationalism, mind is over the senses, it has given the authority over the senses. And in empiricism, sense gives us all our raw data about the world, and without this raw material there would be no knowledge at all. Means whatever the knowledge we get it through our senses, like karmendriya, gyanendriya, right? And in rationalism, what we do it with the use of logic and reason come first to conclude something before experience, right? And it is associated with deduction. Deduction means a top to bottom method where we go from generalization to a specific theory. And in where empiricism is related to induction, where we go from specific to theory, generalization. So this is there are the two ways to acquiring knowledge. One is rationalism, here rationalism, and another way is empiricism. now now uh, we have understood the way, means we have understood research, we have understood its objectives. Now and after objective, you have understood the how, which are the two ways to get the knowledge or to acquire the knowledge. Then scientists prepared a framework. They called it as research paradigms. In research paradigms, they divided into two ways to conduct a research. What are the two ways? One is social science, another is natural science. So in a social science, what they do, they deals with a human being. In social science, basically it is spontaneous, unpredictable, and uncontrollable, as it deals with human emotions and behaviors. In a social science, the problem is a major thing. Means deal with the human emotions and behavior, and to measure it, it is itself a biggest task. So here what kind of data they use? They use experiential data in social science, and typically involve alternative method of observation. Means in social science, they do a research through observation, through interview, through surveys. This kind of things they use in social sciences, and they interact with the people within community. And it is open system, means it does not have a end. social science is a very vast topic, where in natural science deals with the object. Means object means when we have already know the subject and object. Subject is a human being, object can be a thing. Characteristic characterized by exactness, controlled variables. In natural science, we use controlled variables, means it is always a precise and exact and predictable. We know about the things. We took a very specific thing in natural science, and we do our experiment on that. So it is experimental data. What kind of data we use in natural science? It is experimental data. The typical method of science is doing repetitive and conventional laboratory experiment, and as it is experimental data, means it is the experimental way in natural science to do complete our research. So it is it done in laboratories, and it is closed system, means it has a very limited space to conduct. So there are two research paradigms. One is social science, another is natural science. In these two parameters, you have to choose one path to go to your to complete your research now. So hence the competing paradigm to acquire knowledge means, now you have understood the two ways of acquiring knowledge. So this knowledge, this paradigm, after that there is a two paradigms of research. One is natural science, another is social science. So this is grouped, this social and natural science grouped in a, actually positivism and interpretism is a two approach. Means how you are going, this is a roadmap. What kind of research is it? Positivist research, or it is interpretive research? In which way you would like to go? This is what about positivism say and interpretivism say. These are approach. Remember this word. What positivism and interpretivism is the approach of a research, right? So in positivism, uh, basically what we do a research on a topic like physics, chemistry and biology. And in interpretivism, what kind of research topic is there? Sociology, political science, etc. So these are the two different approaches of conducting research. And in positivism, if we talk on aspect of relationship between society and the individual, like, in positivism, what society do? It shapes individual. Society consists of social facts which exercise coercive control over individuals. Means in a positivism, society is important. Here society shapes the individual, and society consists of social facts. In a research, what we do social facts, we use social facts, right? People's action can generally be explained by the social norms they have been exposed uh, to through their socialization and their social class, gender and ethnic and background. So on relationship between society and the individual, positivism shapes the individual, and here concept are very clear. Means people actions can generally be explained by the social norms, right? And wherein if in comparison of interpretism, here individual is important. His consciousness, individual have consciousness and are not just puppets who react to external social forces as positivist belief. So basic difference here, I would like to say that, so here individual thinking is very important in interpretivism. As I said that individual are intricate and complex, and different people experience and understand the same objective reality. As I given the example in my previous classes, that uh, if a tree, the tree is in a sociology or in a society, tree will always be a tree. We cannot go here and there. Tree cannot be a tower, ms tower or iron tower. But as an individual, he can think that tree is a money, is a tower. He can assume anything. So in interpretivism, individual focus is important. What he believes, that is important. And in positivism, truth is always a truth. So this is basic difference on the relationship between society and on society and the individual. Next aspect is general focus of social research. So the point of research is to uncover the laws that govern human behavior, just as scientists have discovered the laws and govern the physical world. Sociologists should use similar methods and approaches to the natural science. Here, what positivism should they should do the research like how natural sciences research conducted. Means there are different approaches, methods which natural science uses. They uses the quantitative method and a qualitative method. So in a positivism, sociologists should use similar method and approach to use natural science, and prefer quantitative method which allow for the researcher to remain detached from the respondent. And in a interpretivism, the point of research is to gain in-depth insight into the lives of respondent. See, respondent means your samples, to gain an empathetic understanding of why they act in the way that they do. Sociologists need to use non-scientific methods to see the world through the eye of the actors or doing. Means in a interpretivism, research should be in a such way that it what your samples is thinking. So and what his feelings, what his emotions. So that kind of research happens in interpretivism. Prefer qualitative method which allow for close interaction and enter with respondents. So they use qualitative method. Means qualitative means when you calculate the you cannot calculate, but you understand the behavior of a person or emotion of a person, feeling of a person. And in quantitative, you have a data and you go through that. So that is positivism. And for qualitative methods, there is a interpretivism. C. Preferred research method in positivism way of approach: quantitative, official statistics, social surveys, questionnaires, structured interviews. And in interpretivism, it is used qualitative data, personal documents, participant observation, unstructured interviews. So require research to be valid, reliable, and presentativeness. In this positivism, research will always be a valid and reliable because it has it has such kind of a data which is measurable. And in a interpretative kind of research or approach, there is a qualitative data, personal document, such kind of a data which is very open. We see, if we go for a research for a interpretivism, and we went for an interview, right? We go for an interview of a sample, and from different kind of sample we collected the data. What we analyze is from that data, we ask same questions to different people. They give the answer. From that answer, we extract similar words. Means most of the people, what kind of words used in his answers, researcher extracted from that interview answers. And then he describe a theory around that words. Means how many times the word used, how many peoples the word used, what were the majority of people that word is used in his answer. So this is kind of qualitative or a interpretivism approach. Now in positivism, key terms used is objective. See, as I said that objective means which is not biased, and subjective means individual persons have their own perceptions on beliefs and feelings. So objective means a tree is a tree, and subjective means tree can be a tower from other point of view. It is a detachment in interpretism, it is interaction, involvement, and repo. Where in positivism approach, what we do trends and comparison, and in interpretivism, it is feelings, Verstehen, and empathy kind of approach. In positivism approach, we use correlation and causes between situations and variables, and in interpretivism we give thick descriptions. We have to give a descriptions, like as I said that we have to go for an interview in such kind of approach. Then in interview, understanding that what kind of word is majorly came in the statement, and so that use a thick descriptions to write. And in positivism it is very generalizable, means once a experiment has completed, the theory has done, now it's time to generalize it, means to implement on a larger population. It is called a generalization, and it is very scientific. In positivism it is very scientific because the space is very less, and they use very particular variables to get a result. So it is, and they use a scientific approach, like they use a quantitative data and a statistical data that can measures the results. They get, and it gives us the results. So this positivism is a very scientific, and it is a humanistic. So this is the see, we have acquired knowledge in a two way. One is rational, one is empiricism. In a rational we use logic and reasons, and in empiricism we use our self experiences, right? And after that, we know that how to acquire knowledge. We created two approaches. One is positivism, one is interpretivism. Positivism, where we use the society to shape the individuals, means we go in a society to take the problems, and we do research from data available there, or we collect the data. It may be a secondary data or a primary data, and we use a methodology to conduct our research, right, in positivism. And what kind of methods we use there? We use quantitative of official statistics, social survey, questionnaire, structured interviews. And what kind of terms we use, like what kind of positivism approach is objective, detachment, trends and comparison. They correlates and use causes, and they generalize it has a high generalization, and the method is scientific. And interpretivism, it is just opposite. So these are the two approaches to take your problems and go for your research. After that, there
Sir, one question.
yes, ma'am.
Sir, if you can explain the terms objective and subjective once
See,
again.
objective means which is unbiased. Means if you thought that if you see a tree, I'm another, again getting same example. If you see a tree, what society says?
That it is a tree.
It is a tree. But subjective, you have a three friends. You all are standing in front of a tree. One of your friend is saying that no, it is not a tree. It is a big building. No, it is a money. It is a box. Another friend is saying something else. You are thinking something else. So in interpretivism, what we do a research. What person is thinking, like he's thinking it is a tower, then you have taken the problem that it is a tower. Now you have decided, is it tower or not? This is your hypothesis. Now you go around the people who are living there, and you are asking them, is it a what kind of this thing is there? So they are giving an answer. Like it is a tree, somebody is giving it is a building. Like in majority of people are saying that it is a tree. Now you have extracted that word. Now you will describe it in your writings, that I have went there, I asked the people, they have given such kind of answers, and majority of people given that it is a tree. Then you will explain a tree, what kind of features are there, why they are calling it a tree. Thick description you are giving. I hope you understood.
Right, sir. Yes, yes, sir. It's clear.
clear? Okay. Now, they use the word Verstehen. Verstehen is closely associated with the work of German sociologist. There were a scientist or a sociologist. His name is Max Weber. He used this word. What is the actually meaning of this word? We understand. In social science such as anthropology and sociology, Verstehen means a systematic interpretive process. Verstehen means a systematic interpretive process in which an outside observer of a culture attempt to relate to it and understand others. Verstehen roughly translate to meaningful understanding or putting yourself in the shoe of others to see things from their perspective. So interpretivism has come here, right? Means what the other is thinking, you took that problem and you are going on that particular problem to conduct your research. And that term is called Verstehen, right? Outside observer of a culture attempt to relate to it and understand others. This is the Verstehen. And the meaning, meaningful understanding, other translation or a meaning of Verstehen is meaningful understanding or putting yourself in the shoe of others to see things from their perspective. Where another term is theory. A theory is a set of systematically related statements, including some law-like generalization that can be tested empirically. Like if a research completed, a theory has set now. Conclusion has come, theory has set now. Now it's time to, the research is completed on a limited people. Now it's time to give it to a larger population. Like if something happened on school students, like this kind of activity increase the students understanding about learnings. So that research happened on a limited people. Now to increase the result of to apply or implement that result on a larger people, that is called generalization. So theory, here what they would they want to say, a theory is a set of systematically related statements including some law like generalization that can be tested empirically. Now it's time to test it empirically. Means it gives to all people, all student of India or a school, that that theory should be used, that experiment should be used on students. So that this generalization provide hypothesis, and the hypothesis determine what must be the result. After generalization, there definitely the result will come, and that result will show that the experiment have done, and the result, the theory used on a larger people, the same result is coming. So this is what about theory. So see, we have understood the
Sir,
approaches.
in Westonhen,
Mm.
is that how it's pronounced? Westonhen?
Vastahan.
Westonhen. Okay. So, can we think of examples related to folk studies, like where people go to the tribes and they try to
Yes,
be
yes,
there with the tribal people
yes.
to understand their culture,
Culture.
their life, and what they
Exactly.
do?
Right. This is the right example for Vastahan.
Yes.
Now, we have understood the approach of research. Like, how would you like to conduct your research? You would like to go as a positivist approach or a interpretivist approach. After that, research has its characteristic. So, first characteristic of a research is objectivity. Means when you have going for a research, you cannot be biased. Like I thought that this asana will definitely change, means increase the height of a person. You can think, you can assume it maybe this asana can increase, but it will give a result when you have completed your result, and at the end of the result, when you conclude it, you have analysis your data, you have went through the different literatures, and you now when you conclude it, you have set up a theory. It may be give a result, means it may increase height or it may not increase height. There is a null hypothesis. The null hypothesis means it is not working, and alternate hypothesis that it has given some impact. There is a something, means if the particular asana we are doing, it is increasing height. So objectivity means don't bias for anything. Don't go for that. I have decided that you thought that this asana will definitely increase height. That will be a biasness. So go with a blank mind. Just assume that particular hypothesis. Like if you decided that the asana, you have taken two hypotheses, that this asana will increase height, this asana will not increase height. This is your hypothesis. Now you go for data, analyze it, whatever the result, you write it. This is your research. Don't put your imagine means your I don't know what word use. So this is what objectivity is. Researchers aim to eliminate personal bias and opinions from their work. They base their findings on factual evidence to ensure fairness and accuracy. So whatever the fact says during your study, that is important. Don't put your opinion on research. So this
I
is what.
think how this can be explained is if we are trying to do a research on some topic. So, say for
Hmm.
example, we are trying to say that a particular kind of pranayama increases lung capacity.
Yes.
Bhastrika increases lung capacity.
uh,
So the researcher initially, when they think that Bhastrika increases lung capacity, I will be only thinking to make it true. I
yes.
will only think to make my result true to my assumption, which
So
is clearly
you
a bias.
thought that you cannot going that it will definitely, you cannot be a certain in particular thing.
Yeah.
What you
So
need to do, you
objectivity
just
is not having that kind of feeling that this should definitely be true.
exactly, that is called bias. And if you are just thought it that it maybe happened because of this, you went for a research methodology, you find something, you gave the result according to your data. If it is working, it means your research is accepted, and if it is not working, it means your hypothesis is rejected. Means your research will definitely accepted, but the hypothesis is rejected or accepted. It's depend on that.
So in objectivity, we should never add any personal opinion or bias.
Exactly, yes. So this is objectivity. So it is a characteristic of research. So when you start your synopsis or a research, it should be unbiased. So that is the objectivity or characteristic of a research. One example is here: conducting a political survey without letting personal political beliefs influencing question phrasing, right? So personal belief you cannot put in your research. Whatever data saying, you just explain it in a same way. That is objectivity. Second characteristic is reliability. So, anyone can explain what is reliability? What is reliability?
So from what I understand in the basic sense, when a research is conducted, um, repeatedly, like the same kind of research is done multiple times by different people or by the same person, if the results of these research activities done on the same thing are consistent,
Correct. Which is
then we
also,
say that the research is reliable. We can depend on the data that is collected and the conclusions that are given based on that research.
see, if you have a friend, right? And we need a friend in some difficult situations. So whenever you have a such kind of difficult situation, you call your friend and he always be there for your help, right? So what you say, what term you will use for that, ke he you are calling
Reliable.
same friend again and again, he is reliable. You don't think any other person on that conditions. So this is reliability, means consistently your friend is coming on your call, and always giving result produced. If a study consistently yields similar outcomes when repeated, means when we repeat it, means not a single time, two times, three times, four times, seven times. Whenever you are have a different kind of means difficult situations, you call him and he come. So this is basically reliability. Now, to check reliability, the same test on a different groups of people should give the same results, and use different test on the same group of people should give the same test results. Example is repeating a yogic experiment on memory with the same methods and obtaining similar results. So this is reliability. Third characteristic is validity. So, what do you understand by validity? We have already, went through, looked at this topic during our previous class. So, explain it. Who is explaining again and again? Usha ji.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Uh, I think Sangeeta ji should explain this.
Yeah, so validity, accuracy of the procedures of the test,
Hmm. In a general example,
what we,
tell me in general example, what should be the validity? Example around from you know, you in your daily life, real life examples. What should be the validity?
if someone is using the blood sugar monitoring
Hmm.
equipment,
Hmm.
so it should it
Here
should
you can
properly
use
give the
thermometer.
result. Thermometer, okay.
Thermometer, right? So
Hmm. It should
from
exactly give the value.
whatever the temperature of a body should give it a give us a result, like above 38 or 39 there is a fever. So
Hmm.
we can validate it, means if it is giving if someone has a 40-degree temperature and it is giving 18-degree, can we validate? No. So
Hmm.
validity is the accuracy of a procedure, research instrument, or a test. So if that procedure is accurate, instrument is accurate, that test is accurate, that means it is valid, right? So validity has a different type. First is internal validity. There are different type of validities: internal, external, criterion, construct, content validity. There are different kind of phase validity, different validities. So see, if you have completed your research, who will means if it is how do you understand it is valid or not? So that validity test tells that this research is valid, right? So this is very important. So internal validity is establishing a clear cause and effect relationship between variables, and it should not be explained by other variables. See, there is two variables we have understood: independent variable and dependent variable. But beyond this, there are other variables also. We called it confounding variables. So here is an example of internal validity. A cup of a coffee improves memory. This is our question, right? What a researcher did? He did assigned a same aged college student to do a research on this question. A researcher assigned same aged college student for this research, and what he did, he took morning and evening time two groups. One group, they give they divided two groups. One in morning, one is evening, and given the timing, one is morning and one is evening. And experimental group, they given name. One is experiment group and another is control group. Experiment group, they called in the morning and gave the coffee, and control group, they called in the evening and gave the coffee. Now experimental group given coffee and control group given water. Sorry, control group means the group which do not means take experiment. So control group will always avoid experiment, right? And only experimental will take treatment or experiment. So experimental group given coffee and control group given water instead of coffee. After that, memory and result shows that experimental group performed better, right? जो means that the group which took the treatment, means coffee, perform better on memory. So now question comes, really drinking coffee improves memory? Now to validate, need to rule out other variables. So three questions should come in our mind. Treatment variable, mean treatment variable. What is treatment variable here in this question? A cup of coffee improves memory.
Independent variable is a cup of coffee. Memory is a dependent variable.
And what is independent variable in this question?
Independent variable is coffee, sir.
Coffee, right? And memory is a
Dependent variable.
means response variables, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
treat
Treatment variable is coffee. Response variable is memory.
memory. So treatment variable and response variable change together. When we did this experiment, we given coffee, and during the when we calculate or we measured results, so there was any change together between these two variables. Second question comes should in our mind is treatment variable precedes changes in response variable. Is there any change seen when we give coffee to samples? Is there any change in memory response variable? And no other confounding or extraneous variable given explanation of the result. So tell me, what happened? First question is right or wrong?
Sir, how will they both change together? Variable, treatment variable and response variable, how will they both change together? If the treatment variable is given, then there is a change in the response variable.
You can reduce or increase coffee. Instead of a 1 cup of coffee, you given 2 cup of coffee. So this is true. A change together is possible. It will not affect your result, right?
Okay. Okay.
Very good. ठीक है. In the next question, if you give a coffee, it changes the memory, right? This is also true.
Yeah.
But on the third line, what do you say? Was
No
there
other confounding or extraneous variables given explanation of result. Like for example, if along with coffee, they're taking some other like Brahmi or some other memory improving supplements, then probably that becomes an extraneous or a confounding variable.
But in this example, what such kind of thing impacting such kind of variable, confounding variable you traced, or you know find out from this example? Here I'll say you the time is important. One group given in the morning and control group given in the, it should be on the same time. Time is another confounding variable, right?
Morning and evening to two groups, sir. I think
No,
the
no,
example says
no.
a couple of
Experimental group go morning and control group given evening time.
okay. Now
So this
experimental
time
group.
difference may impact the results.
Hmm.
right? So time
Like
is
we should provide the same conditions to both the groups. If there is
yes,
any difference in
yes.
the conditions,
Research,
then that becomes a confounding variable.
yes, yes. So when there is if the result is disturbed by confounding or extraneous variable, then your validity will be low. So the research impact will be low. So validity should always be high. How you will get it high? There should be no impact by the extraneous variable. So this is internal validity, establishing a clear cause and effect relationship between variables, right? And it should not be explained by other variables. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
even the yeah, in that example, you took the timing of giving the intervention and water, regular thing, and there could also be the quantity, right? Quantity also, like giving coffee in a particular quantity and water in another quantity, that also works as a confounding variable.
Yes.
If you are giving
You
100
see,
ml of
by
coffee
before,
and
if you are going yoga research, in a yoga research you will decide a module, a 30-minute module, how many asan, pranayam, and meditation technique you will use. If you give it if you are giving it is for 30 minutes, maybe the result are different. If it is giving for 1 hour, the result may be different. So all the things are very specific. We have to explain each and everything in our research.
right, sir.
Uh, can we conclude this in next session?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
That's it. I think it's 8:55. So you people also have to go. So we'll do it in our next class. So how was your experience last two classes, today's and previous class?
Very good, sir. So I'm enjoying the class. Like it's giving me a good idea about what really these terms are and how do I understand them. It's giving me a clear picture.
Okay. So okay, so I'm also enjoying in this way.
I'm trying to understand because I'm very poor in this subject.
I'm also poor man.
No, no, no.
Research is a
You
very
are
vast
teaching us.
topic, and we
Yeah.
are just trying to understanding it. And what I have understood, I'm trying to give you the understanding to you. So definitely we'll reach somewhere. We'll achieve our goals.
Yes, definitely, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So Vidyaji, please do a closing recitation for today's class.
Okay, sir. Keep your back straight, neck straight. Close your eyes. Join your palms. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
थैंक यू मैम 9 बज गया इसको अभी तक तैयार नहीं किया
बस हो गया करा ना हमने कंप्लीट चलो बेटा बाहर वो तो अभी रेडी हो 2 मिनट